Hello, guess what we're doing? Textbook, 顶石中文. All right, so we're up to, I think we did this one, right? We just finished this one. Yeah, my speed recently has been a bit slow, I'm afraid. Why? Just doing other things, really. Nothing exciting. There are other things I need to do besides study a textbook. However, I suppose I should still pick up the pace. Anyway, we're on page 47. 随手扔还是随手分？你拎得清吗？拎 is it second tone 拎 I forget. Okay. So boom. First tone. Okay, lin, first tone. I feel like I should know that. Where is my pen? Here it is. Lin. I know the meaning of the word, but I'm not precisely. That is horizontal, is it? Is it horizontal enough? I know the meaning of the word. Okay, well, here it is. Carry, lift kind of thing. You're carrying something, right? Yeah, just this one with the tone, because the phonetic component ling, right? I assume it's a phonetic component. Sometimes there's subtle nuances, but I'm going to assume it is ling. L-I-N-G, where this is L-I-N, lin. Yeah, so I realized also the tone's different. So lin jie qing. Anyway, sometimes it can be a bit tricky. All right, I have no idea what we're talking about, so this is some sort of metaphor. It's meant to entice you into reading the article, right? 随手扔还是随手分？你拎得清吗？ I don't know. I'm assuming we're talking about rubbish. I don't really know what this is about. I presume we'll understand later on. 在你们国家，家庭生活的垃圾是如何处理的？ Sorry, I didn't put it in the right spot, did I? 在你们国家，家里生活的垃圾是如何处理的？ Okay, so in Australia versus in China, I'll describe Australia first. 在澳大利亚，也许厨房里有垃圾桶，人们有垃圾的时候就把它扔进垃圾桶里。那个垃圾桶堆满垃圾的时候，就拿着垃圾袋就捆绑起来，然后在外面，拿在外面，放进那个比较大的垃圾桶里。那个垃圾桶里每2个星期有一个卡车，就是政府的那个卡车，对吧？那个他们就是我怎么说，收回了你的垃圾，然后就这样。在中国情况，其实我不太知道，但是情况有点不一样，因为澳大利亚的房子一般来说就是一片土地，一片房子，一栋房子，对吗？这里我住在宿舍或者公寓里。在这里我有那个卫生间里我有垃圾袋，我有垃圾的时候要扔掉，我把它放进垃圾袋。垃圾袋装满的时候，我下楼到公用的垃圾桶，那样的公用的或者就是全居民共同使用的那个垃圾桶，扔进那里。据我所知，每一天就需要收回了垃圾。而且我住在山东省，我听说这里有那个焚烧垃圾场垃圾焚烧厂，对吗？这就是 这就是一个处理方法。也许他们会讨论这个话题，我不确定。OK，也有回收，回收两个国家有不同回收的概念或者方法，对吗？澳大利亚有，我给你看，有这种的垃圾桶，对吗？其实中国和澳大利亚都有，但是每一个家庭有自己的那个有小轮的那个垃圾桶。在澳大利亚，在中国就是公用的，对吗？就一栋楼有20多层，有很多家庭一起住的一栋楼，嗯，他们都把垃圾扔进这类的，所以每一天需要收回。在澳大利亚就每一个星期还是每2个星期，我不确定，应该是每一个星期，每一个星期。嗯，还有那个回收，嗯，回收，嗯嗯，有点那样吧，在澳大利亚，在这里，严格的说，我们应该嗯分类垃圾，把回收的，在中国有4种垃圾，一个是不可回收的，一个是厨房垃圾、厨余垃圾，有害垃圾，比如玻璃碎片，对吗？嗯，还有什么？哦，还有这可回收的那个，比如说罐子、瓶子什么的，嗯。澳大利亚可以回收的垃圾就全部放在这样的垃圾桶里，然后他们收回来。中国，在中国你可以赚钱，据我所知赚钱，所以也我的回收，我有另一个呃我有另一个袋子，把可以回收的垃圾放进去，然后我不是扔掉，我就是给别人，我给别人，为什么呢？因为他们可以，把我的回收，嗯，呃，去什么地方回收，他可以处理这个，然后他也可以通过这个方法赚钱。我不知道他赚了多少钱，但是如果我有嗯一袋回收，就是给他们，他们很开心，对，他们很高兴，说谢谢OK，嗯，我也所以我不太理解这个情况，但是我回收的方法不是，我分类垃圾，但是垃圾回回收就是呃给别人，就是不能回收的垃圾就放进嗯也这类的垃圾桶，就是嗯，每栋楼都有这类的垃圾桶，是公用的。也在中国有，一二三四五有4种，呃，垃圾分类啊，就这样。老师说他们是垃圾桶，没有那么干净。嗯，OK，好，我想看这张照片。垃圾分类从我做起。OK，其他垃圾是不可回收的，对吗？那个红色的应该是有害垃圾，有害垃圾放进那里。呃，也，垃圾分类，可回收可回收物，可回收物，对，你的硬纸、你的报纸、你的呃瓶子，喝完水以后可以放进那里。 这个应该是厨余垃圾。厨余垃圾，比如你给苹果剥皮，或者嗯、呃或者你吃桃子有一个桃桃仁对吗？桃仁，我不叫什么核那个或者桃核，我不知道怎么叫这个。你扔进那个，或者土豆皮，或者有很多这类的，变质的香蕉扔进那里，但是现在的情况和过去的情况有点不一样。现在有呃垃圾焚烧厂，所以垃圾焚烧啊，垃圾焚烧焚烧厂。垃圾焚烧厂，也就这样。所以这就是有点像电厂，他们用我们的垃圾燃烧，造电，对吗？制造电能。所以问题现在不是我的垃圾太多，问题就是我的垃圾不够多，是相反的，对吗？他用这个方法燃烧我们的垃圾。嗯，所以我们需要把这个厨余垃圾水分量很大，对吗？所以燃烧不行，所以我分开这个这很重要。嗯，现在据我了解，就差不多全省份的垃圾就到那样的焚烧厂，所以现在我对垃圾的概念没有之前的，是要尽量避免扔掉东西或者用塑料制品，对吗？现在我没有之前那么小心，因为就到这里就燃烧。呃，他们有处理很多高技术处理方法，也因为有那种垃圾里面包括很多有害物，对吗？而且有一种也有水分，就燃烧的时候有一种嗯是包含大量有害物的那个水分，你需要分开，也需要分开的处理。嗯，OK，那是第一个问题。第二个问题，政府主导垃圾分类进入强制时代，是否符合大多数人的意愿？嗯，也在澳大利亚有点难说。人民对把回收分开，对这样的嗯过程没有介意，对吗？但是如果你很挑剔，需要洗干净牛奶瓶子，对吗？牛奶瓶子，呃，也需要做什么分开的罐子和罐子的标，那个就分开的就有点麻烦，所以这里人们没有那么挑剔，没那么小心。我认为在这里嗯，我很愿意，我很乐意就回收。嗯，可是也严格的说，我们应该把垃圾分类，对吗？我有4种垃圾，也许哦，对。那时候我在中国，我自己经历了这个变化。OK，嗯， 你看，那就是疫情之前，对，不久之前，在疫情期间内，我们需要理解这个情况有这个变化。OK，嗯，现在呢，现在因为有那种垃圾焚烧厂，我我没有那么小心。其实很多垃圾我就是扔到垃圾桶里，人们会替我分类，也有点奇怪。他们会看我垃圾里面有什么有可以回收的那个东西呢？嗯，但是与此同时，这是赚钱的一个方法。如果不是他们看，他们看，就另一个人看我的垃圾有什么。OK，垃圾分类处理政策实施有哪些困难？嗯，在澳大利亚，在澳大利亚，嗯，垃圾分类，我觉得困难不大。问题就是，如果有过多种类的垃圾，你需要买很多不同的垃圾桶，那谁有地方储存那种垃圾桶，巨大的垃圾桶？因为也和中国不一样，对吗？嗯，也所以每一个家庭都需要这个垃圾桶，呃，不行。但是中国的系统不一样，中国的制度，中国的制度不一样。因为一栋楼只有自己的那个垃圾桶这一类的垃圾桶，就是分享的公用的垃圾桶，对吗？可是也在澳大利亚，家庭是各栋楼，对吗？分开的，嗯，所以那个政策不可能是同类的，对吗？人们的家庭有垃圾桶就没有问题，可以放在车库里面。有2个垃圾桶可以接受，有4个垃圾桶，就是占的地方太多了，对吗？不能停车，不是车库就是垃圾桶库。嗯，也我们会讨论我过去的经历。那时候我在中国，那时候我在北京。2019年，中国政府告诉我们需要分类垃圾，就突然有一天，我就发现，哦，我必须把垃圾分类。那时候我去垃圾桶扔垃圾的时候，有一个叔叔，叔叔说你打开你的垃圾，我打开垃圾，这是我怎么说意料之外的事情。我有我的垃圾里面有我的那个私人用品，我不想给叔叔看我的私人用品，对吗？呃，是的，所以他说他说哦，你需要打开垃圾袋，分类垃圾，我就是拒绝，不行，呃，也现在我有点习惯了。OK，算了，我不在乎。你想看我的垃圾，你看我，但是那时候特别有反感。OK，也那就是疫情不久之前，嗯，需要分类垃圾。那时候有一些海报里会告诉你，那种垃圾可以放进这里，那种垃圾放这个垃圾桶里。这类的你可以知道如何分类垃圾。可是与此同时，很多垃圾没有那么简单，比如有咖啡杯，比如说星巴克的咖啡杯，那是纸质的还是塑料制的呢？其实我不是材料专家，我是哪种 那可以放在哪种垃圾桶呢？我不知道。也起初是一个严格的过程，人们要求你需要把垃圾放那里，需要把那种垃圾放那里，啪啪啪。但是随着时间的推移，大家越来越随意，就随意的扔垃圾。现在我就是有点像随意扔垃圾，我把可以回收的给附近住的一个邻居，对吗？嗯，就是在我看来不可以回收的垃圾，我在楼下扔垃圾。可是与此同时，我认为我认为不能回收的垃圾，也许大部分时候是可以回收的。对，但是OK，如果有人打开我的垃圾袋，就看，哦，这个可以回收，那个可以回收。呃，我不想知道。如果真的有人这样做，就假装你不知道。我不想你知道，我垃圾袋里面有什么。但是真的有一些私人用品，比如说你用马桶，用上厕所的时候，就有一些需要扔掉的垃圾，我不想让全世界看。呃，哎，有点难，有点很难接受这个过程。但是现在我就习惯了，就 OK。你想看那个，就我不在乎。你的你的屁股和我的屁股差不多吧，一样臭。OK. All right, that's enough speaking Chinese for now. For now. Um, yeah, that was a Davy Jones. For now. Davy Jones quote from Pirates of the Caribbean. I like quoting movies, especially 90s and 2000s movies, 80s movies as well. Ah, for now. Bill Nye, right? All right. So presumably this is an interview of some kind. 对话人何鼎鼎，人民日报评论员 commentator. So this is a commentator rather than a journalist. I don't know the difference. Zhu Min, I don't even recognize that character. Zhu Min Qu. All right, we're going to have to look it up. 1 second. Here, all right, here are the characters. So, Zhu Min Wu. Zhu Min Wu. I don't even know what this means, but I've seen it before. It's one of these characters you see in people's names, and it's kind of like, all right. Is it used in any words? Yu Min. Min Yu Za Xiao. All right. Jade. Yeah, all right. It pertains to Jade. And yeah, with the word that belongs to, I'm going to infer that fairly quickly anyway. Ooh, I don't know this character. Why Wu? Stubborn. Peng Wu? Busy. Hang on. Xiang Wu. Oh, meet each other. Maybe this one. Oh, is this a Chung? Wu Yu Tu Zhong? All right. I don't know this character. Ooh. That's the first time I've seen this character. I'm pretty sure it's not in the corpus, but let's take a quick look. Yeah, it's not in here. This is the More Than Enough Hansa corpus I've been working on for a while. It's a while. Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H? So, what was I saying? Yeah, this character I don't know. Do I need to know it? I'm not sure. I'm going to color you in blue. I hope you don't get grumpy at me. Oops. Zhu Minwu. Maybe Zhu Minwu will send me an email. How dare you color me in blue? Zhu Minwu. Okay. 解放日报评论员. Oh, so we've got two different journalistic outlets. Yeah, so this is 人民日报, this is the China People's Daily or something like this, and 解放 is liberation, so this would be referring to 解放军 Liberation Army or something. I'm not sure. Maybe it's pertaining to or just alluding to Chinese history in some way. I don't know. I'd have to go and ask whoever founded this, I don't know, company, outlet. All right. 和顶顶，2019年7月1日，上海市生活垃圾管理条例（以下简称条例） Yeah, so 简称 is kind of like abbreviation, or you say in the following contents we will refer to it as this. So this very, very long thing we're just going to refer to as this. So use this kind of declaration to just, because this is too long to say over and over again, so you'll call it this. Kind of like an acronym in English. You might, the first time you normally state it in full, and then you abbreviate it or you acronymize it. 正式实施. All right, so this policy, presumably it's for Shanghai specifically, was implemented on the 7th of, the 1st of July, right? 对垃圾分类提出明确要求，垃圾分类一下子成了热词和技术活。What is 技术活? I don't know. 一下子成了热词. Presumably 热词 is a hot word, a familiar word or something like this. 热词. Actually, I don't even know this word. 热词 buzzword. Oh, all right. 热词 and 技术活. What is 技术活? I don't know. 技术活. Not in the dictionary. What am I supposed to do with that information? Are they going to explain it to us in a minute? What 技术活 means? Is it used as a suffix or something? No, they're not going to explain it. All right, let's go ask the AI. What does 技术活 技术活 in this dictionary? Whoops. No. Technical work. 活 is 干活，体力活，手艺活. Okay, so 活 is used as a suffix implying some kind of 干活, something like this. Yeah, 后缀. 后缀 is a suffix. 后缀. 技术活 skilled work, 体力活, 脑力活, 手艺活, 重活 heavy work, 重活. All right, I did not know 活 could be used as a suffix like this. All of these are new to me. They're all completely new to me. Okay, 工作职业. So colloquial, informal. That's probably why I don't know it. I tend to prefer the more formal ways of speaking and writing. But 我的工作很复杂，他从事技术职业。Okay, so these are formal. 我这个活很复杂，他干的是技术活。All right. So it's kind of like this. Oops. Yes and no. Okay, thanks. 干技术活，干的是技术活。Oh, all right. 干技术活 or 干技术活 with 儿化音. Oh, okay, so the textbook does not have the 儿化音. All right. 干技术活. All right. Interesting. I mean, I did not know that. I did not know this is usable as a suffix. All right. 一下子成了热词和技术活. So, 垃圾分类. So this is the process of separating rubbish into categories and, you know, recycling some and like doing special treatment on others. Maybe the kitchen waste can be composted or something. Or maybe fed to pigs. I don't know. I don't know what they do with kitchen waste. But yeah, my understanding is a lot of food waste gets fed to pigs here, or maybe fed to animals. It's not like it's wasted. 热词, yeah, buzzword makes sense. 技术活. So this now, it just became, it went from this process of separating your rubbish, went from just a thing everyone did. It's like recycling here. This cardboard box, let's put it in the corner and we'll fill it full of recycling and recycle the whole lot. It went from something everyone did to a kind of a technical task that people can do. All right. 将废弃物不乱丢进垃圾桶。一扔了之. Yeah, 了之 is a suffix. So there are two words we need. 了之. 了之 is a suffix meaning something like solved. And there's two words, or maybe three words. Hold on. I'll get them for you. So 了之, 医疗了之, 医疗. Oh, no, not 医疗了之. Oh no, what is it? 医疗白疗? No. Oh, I forget. 医疗白疗. This is a word. You solve one problem and 100 problems are solved. So it's like you solve one problem. 医疗白疗. Is it not 医疗了之? 医疗了之? Am I? Oh, 不了了之. So 医疗白疗 and 医疗白疗不了了之. So this is 了之. You're kind of solving something, but in this case, you're solving something by not solving it, right? So it's like, oh, don't worry about it. Some problems, yeah, I kind of actually like that. If you just ignore it, it doesn't matter. Yeah, in a sense, for example, in China, if you look like me and you walk around China, people are going to look at you and they're going to take photos of you. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit unpleasant. Like sometimes you just want to do something. You're doing something really mundane, like buying groceries or something, and random people are taking photos of you. So yeah, I get the feeling, you know, this is my solution. 不了了之. I just like, all right, don't worry about it. Settled it by leaving it unsettled. It's not ideal, but existing in China and looking like me is going to result in that. It's just that simple. And I just ignore them, or I kind of keep up the pretense. It's like, okay, you don't want me to see, and I'm going to pretend I don't see. Absolutely I see, but all right. There's one more. Sorry. It's in my notes. Sorry, give me a second. This one. This is the one in my notes. 一走了之, to avoid a problem by walking away from it. I'm not sure how this is understood in the Chinese mind. Because if you walked away from a problem that you cannot fix, and the best solution is to walk away from it, for example, I don't know, some crazy guy, it's like, oh, I'm going away here. Maybe that's a good thing, right? You're not getting provoked and so on. Maybe that's a good thing. But if you're walking away from your problems, it also means you're not facing your problems. You're, for example, maybe you have marital problems or something like this, and you just walk away. Maybe that's a bad thing. But yeah. This may or may not be a good thing, right? Yeah, maybe there's a company you're having trouble with, and it's like, you know what? I'm just going to walk away. It's like so many problems are solved by walking away. Yeah. So 3 of them. 一走了之，一了百了. And what's the other one? 不了了之. Yeah. Are there others? Maybe we'll ask the AI. 一了百了，一了百了，不了了之. And what's the other one? 一走了之. Are there others in this family? Are there others? 一死了之. All right. So it looks like you can put verb 了之. And what does the textbook give us? 扔了之. Okay, 一走了之. Yeah, 一了百了. All right, so it seems 一走百之. 一走百 not 百之了之一走了之. It seems verb 了之 is a pattern. And it has to be a single character verb, and you're kind of making your own chengyu. It's like build a bear, but build a chengyu. Build a chengyu. Verb 了之. Are these in the dictionary? This is the one in the textbook, is it? What in the textbook they use? 扔了之. 一多了之. 一笑了之. Very common. Okay, I'm going to make a note of that. 一笑了之. Yeah, you kind of solve the problem by laughing. All right. So here we've got 一扔了之. And I kind of don't think this is an actual chengyu. I feel like this is somewhat of a play on words, right? So it's this family. Actually, will they explain this family of... here it is. Yes, they will. All right. 一走了之 is the one I've encountered. 一笑了之. Right. So it's a family of chengyu. I don't know, maybe it doesn't even count as chengyu. It's a family of classical Chinese writing style structures, whatever you want to call it. All right. 一扔了之的生活情景成了历史. So 一扔了之. So you're solving a problem in one fell swoop. You're taking your rubbish, throwing it away, and that's done. You don't have to think about it again. This is not really true, right? People used to recycle before 2019, I can assure you. This was not a rare thing. It went from recycling and non-recycling to 4 different types of rubbish. So it's a different system. Yeah, but so maybe the textbooks pertaining to things like gated communities, things like this, residential buildings, where you've got the rubbish bins downstairs. Yeah, people were not especially conscientious about recycling. But the thing is, because you can make money from recycling, that it's very hard to not recycle here. Like if you take a Coke bottle or something and just throw it in a rubbish bin, even if you try not to recycle it, someone's going to take that and recycle it for you. It's very hard to not recycle here. Anyway. But yeah, absolutely. Before 2019 in China, there was recycling. I don't know. I don't have memory of China without recycling. So I presume it's been around for a very long time. Anyway. 湿纸巾在实验室干垃圾. Okay, so 湿纸巾. 纸巾, this refers to a sanitary napkin, right? This is kind of like what I didn't want to. 纸巾. Paper towel, napkin. It's not exactly what I was thinking. I feel like I should know this word, but all right. 湿纸巾, wet tissues. 再是也是干垃圾. So this means even though it's kind of wet, like even if it was wetter, it'd still count as dry rubbish. 干香菇, 干香菇, 再干也是湿垃圾. So even the dry, okay, so even the wettest paper is still dry recycling or dry rubbish, and even the driest mushrooms are the wet recycling. All right. 猪吃了会死的是有害垃圾. All right. If a pig can eat it and it will die. If a pig eats it and dies, then it's harmful rubbish. 可以卖钱埋猪的是可回收垃圾. Okay. 卖钱埋猪. Is this like something people were saying at the time? So if you can sell it for money and buy a pig, then it's recyclable. Yeah. I don't know. If you come to China, you'll experience this. You'll finish your water, you'll take the bottle and throw it in the rubbish bin, and then you'll see someone come along and take that out, and I'm recycling that. It's very hard to not recycle here because you can make enough money from it. Well, people seem to make money from recycling. I have no idea how much money they make, but at the same time, cost of living is relatively low as well. So, sure, maybe they're not making much money, but they're also, probably not spending all that much money too. All right. 上海人用吐槽的方式学习和传播着分类知识，认真的样子让全国人民不得不点赞. All right, 吐槽. 吐槽 is to roast. To roast someone, it's like, I don't know, you're deliberately insulting them, but comically or for fun, right? You're poking their ribs or something. It's like, you. Oh, you get the idea. And 点赞, 别忘记点赞. 点赞 as opposed to 点彩. 点彩 dislike, 点赞 like. Here it looks like it's used figuratively. 点赞. 曾经拎得清是上海话里对明事理之分寸的褒奖. Okay, so 拎得清 is Shanghai Hua, Shanghai dialect. That's why I don't know it. Oh, my phone wiggled, and when my phone wiggled, it affected the camera. 拎得清. Whoops. 拎得清. 拎得清. Understand something well, be clear-headed. All right. So, 你拎得清吗? This is the one in the title. So this is a new word for me, but it's not on my to learn list if it's dialect, Shanghai dialect. Understand something well, be clear-headed. 拎得清吗? 拎得清吗? All right. Okay. 明事理知分寸. Sorry. I push a button on my phone and then AI is opening up. All right. So, 明事理 shi is matters, right? Or just abstract, arbitrary matters. Li would be truly or 理解. Ming, yeah, so Ming here would be wise or sagacious, or something like this. 知分寸, 分寸 is a word meaning propriety. So you know propriety, 事理. So here maybe Ming is something like 知道, right? 明知 or 理解. Yeah. So deal with matters appropriately. 褒奖, 褒 is the antonym of 贬. 褒贬. So 贬 is negative or pejorative or what's the other word? Derogatory. So you often talk about 贬义 or 贬低, 你别贬低我, don't put me down, right? Or 贬义词, words that have a negative meaning such as 贿赂, 贿赂, bribery, is a 贬义词, right? The antonym of this is 褒. Yeah, 褒义词. 褒义词 are inherently good words. I don't know, what's an inherently good word? 漂亮. 漂亮, beautiful. It's inherently a good word, right? It's very hard to use it in a negative way. And some words are 中立性 and neutral. So 褒贬 or 中立. Yeah, sometimes words are kind of neutral or slightly positive, this sort of thing. So there's a whole spectrum. But this is a new word for me. 褒奖. 奖 is a prize or reward or some sort of remuneration. So I do not know what 褒奖 means. Maybe sorry, I banged the camera, didn't I? Yeah, 褒奖. It's describing this phrase, so it's probably something in the ballpark of a way of praising this kind of recycling attitude. I'm not entirely sure. 褒奖. Praise and award. Oh, okay. So these are separate. Yeah, 褒 was a message. All right, at least it doesn't have my information. Yeah, I haven't used enough data. 褒 to praise. 表扬并奖励. Yeah, 褒 by itself used as a verb is a little bit surprising. Oh no, it is a verb. 褒奖, 褒义. I've always thought of it as an adjective. But the line between verbs and adjectives in Chinese is very blurry. Anyway, 现在也成了上海人出门倒垃圾前的自我夸问. 夸问 is interrogation, right? It's an interrogation. Yeah, so they're talking about this sort of attitude was a positive attitude towards recycling. 现在, and 现在 presumably is from the perspective of when the article was written. Yeah, 2019. So this is just at the start of the rollout. Yeah, I remember this. You're getting interrogated about your rubbish. Like there was just someone standing there asking you what's in your rubbish. It's like, this is so weird. So 拷问. So this is an interrogation. They are using the word 拷问. So this is definitely a 贬义词, right? Interrogate with torture. 拷问. I do know this word. I wasn't expecting it here, but nobody expects the 拷问. So 拷问 is used usually in like police interrogation and things like that. Not 自我拷问, a self-interrogation. All right, so yeah, so you're interrogating yourself over whether or not you've put the appropriate rubbish in the appropriate box. 可玩笑归玩笑，可玩笑归玩笑。 yeah, not 100% sure what this is. 玩笑 is a joke. It is a noun, right? 开玩笑. So I feel like we're going to be criticizing this policy in a second. 垃圾分类对垃圾减量与绿色发展不是小事，但对大多数中国人而言是新鲜事。So it's laughable that, yeah, the concept of recycling, the rubbish reduction and greening, green development, I should say, is a new concept. I kind of don't believe it, but I must admit, yeah, compared to other countries, China hasn't been the greenest at times. 也是麻烦事. Okay, so they've been asked to separate their rubbish, and this is too much trouble. 不就是扔个垃圾吗？不就是扔个垃圾吗？区区小事，区区小事。区区 is a verb. Sorry, an adverb. No, adjective. It's an adjective meaning something like trifling or something, or something you have to do over and over again. 区区区哎呀 trivial, yeah, 区区小事. I had it in the dictionary. Trifling thing. Okay, so trifling is the correct interpretation. 区区小事，何必那么较真？较真 is 较真 like 认真? Why do you have to treat such a silly little thing as so important? 较真. Oops. Take seriously. 特别认真. Yeah. Again, these are kind of words I don't know, but I can kind of infer the general gist of. 如何让普通百姓接受并践行这一全新的环保方式呢？很多城市想到上海这样一项公共政策，他们是如何实现平稳开局的？ All right, so first of all, there is this 践行. This is something like implement, carry out. I don't really know this one. 践行. Wow, all right. Again, I mean, I can kind of figure it out, but I don't know this word. So apparently this is at the start. Yeah, this is at the start of this rollout nationally. So maybe Shanghai came first. I was in Beijing at the time, so maybe Beijing came afterwards. I forget the exact date. Kaiju is the opening, such as in a game of chess. So if you play chess, you might memorize the first few moves or something like this. So if you play the Sicilian defense or something like this, that's your opening. This Kaiju is the opening of the rollout of this change in policy regarding recycling. All right. Can you see? That'll do. All right. 朱明武从19年前率先试水 ，OK， 到如今立法强制执行。上海的垃圾分类并非一蹴而就，一蹴而就 is a 成语. This character looks fancy until you realize it's 就 with a foot on the side. 一蹴而就. And then you realize, oh, I can handwrite that. That's not a big deal. It's kind of like 马到成功. You kind of like It's like, I want to achieve success and I get there in one step kind of thing. It's not going to instant success. Yeah. 率先试水. 率先, what is 率先试水? Is this a 成语 or something? I'm not entirely sure. 率先, oh, that's hard to say, isn't it? 率先, yeah, take the lead. I think I count that as known. But 试水, oh, it's a metaphor. All right. 试水 is what this is what I don't know. Okay. So you're testing the water non-literally. So it can be literally, you're testing the water. It's like, is the water hot? Ah, okay, I won't drink that then, will I? Okay, so it's this sort of 试水, you're testing it out. Like, does this actually have a future or something like this? It's kind of like a trial. So in this case, we're testing the waters, but we're literally testing this system of recycling. Okay, let me read it again. 从19年前晒生 wow, that's so hard to say. 晒先从19年前晒先试水，到如今立法强制执行。上海的垃圾分类并非一蹴而就，而是不断试错和创新的过程。不断试错。What's 试错? Trial and error? Maybe it is just the translation from English of trial and error. 试错. Yeah. 尝试错误法. All right, so you just try lots of ways and you kind of identify which ones are troublesome. 条例, and just remember 条例 refers to this policy here. 条例正式推行是在今年，但上海人垃圾分类理念的输入已经展多年。已开展多年。So we're talking about people in Shanghai. This 上海人垃圾分类理念的输入已开展多年。So this is people in Shanghai 输入 is input. So this is input in the sense of something like feedback on the policy, and it's been going on for multiple years. Okay. 基层的大量试点。试点 is a word, isn't it? I remember encountering this. I'm not sure if it's no, it's not that one I encountered. Sorry. Okay. 基层的大量试点，广泛的社会动员，为最终的政策推行做好了铺垫。试点。Is this like a spot test or an yeah, something like that, right? 试点 pilot. Oh, I do know this. Let me show you where I know this word from. Oh no, hold on. It's not 试点, it's 试行. That's the word no. 试行. This is the word I know. This is the word I know. 试行. 试点. Make an experiment, launch a pilot. A pilot in the sense of a pilot study or pilot experiment. All right. So 为最终的政策推行做好了店铺。店铺 is kind of like padding or ground. So they're doing all these experiments and trials and so on. So when the policy 推行 is actually pushed out, yeah, there's some sort of heading or something. Like it's not all at once. 同时，更多人切身感受到垃圾围城的风险。这加速了垃圾分类理念的被认同。垃圾围城 ，so rubbish encircling the city, encircling by rubbish. 垃圾围城 So this is presumably some sort of criticism. 垃圾围城 besieged. Besieged by rubbish. Yeah, so this was still a thing. I remember reading about 垃圾焚烧厂, and they use this 成语 a lot. 垃圾围城 besieged by rubbish. 和丁丁，有人说政策制定与推行需要刚柔并this is a 多音字 I guess it's 济刚柔并济刚柔并济刚 here will be steel or hard or something like this. It's not steel, is it? There is a meaning like hard or something in that ballpark. So it's functioning as an antonym for roll. So hard, soft, ji. Yeah, it could be ji. That's the problem, isn't it? I'm not sure. All right. 刚柔并济. 刚柔并济. With strength and grace. Yeah, 刚, there is a meaning here, this one. 刚 firm rather than strong. Okay. 刚柔并济. Maybe 济 is usually fourth tone. 济. 柔呢就是政策形成过程要有吸收接纳，也要循序渐进。That's a 成语 right? 循序渐进。It's kind of implemented in steps gradually over time, right? 给公众留出适应时间。Yeah, give the public time to adapt. 刚呢，就是推进过程中，要一鼓作气，果断坚决，不能在反复犹豫中，消磨公众参与的热情。消磨 is something like to while away, waste away, or something like this. 消磨 yeah, wear down. Wear down is a good translation there. But I know what? I think I know that word. 消磨 I'll color it in anyway. Not a big deal. 上海的垃圾分类政策是如何平衡两者的？ Yeah, so we've got the strength of the policy and the softness of the policy. So we want to consult with the constituents and the populace, get their feedback on the policy and help them become familiar with the policy, while at the same time, we kind of really need people to do this. It's a major problem. Yeah, nowadays probably we'll be talking about 垃圾焚烧厂 if it comes up on the exam, where it's kind of like, yeah, don't care, it's all going in the 垃圾焚烧厂. But you're still meant to separate your your food waste from your non-food waste, or the waste that has water in it, because it doesn't burn very well. 朱明武，对，立法. Oh, do you know 立法? 立法 is to enact policy, right? 立法首先画出一道红线。立法的过程本身就是酝酿、探讨、形成共识的过程。早在几十年前，德国、日本、英国、澳大利亚等国家就开始了垃圾分类的持久战。战 here is a war, not a station. 持久战. 战 here is obviously used figuratively, not an actual war. So Australia, it said long time ago, something like this. 几十年前,几十年前, decades ago, right? Decades ago, so Germany, Japan, England and Australia all had these policies. There was 持久战. 持久 is long-lasting, so a long-lasting war over what? How rubbish should be separated. It was a bit of an issue in Australia deciding which policy to use. I remember this. There was some argument, but it was a very, very long time ago. And basically, Australians kind of settled on, we've got recycling and non-recycling. There's some people who are really kind of careful and take the labels off of things and wash all the milk bottles and all this sort of thing, and it's a bit hard to keep doing all this. It's a lot of work. It's just too much work to give the populace at some point. You can take it to any extreme you like. 经过长达半个世纪的磨合 is something like breaking in, I believe. 磨合. So like when something is new, there's a lot of friction, but over time you break it in and it reduces the friction. 磨合. Yeah, breaking new machine, cars, etc. Yeah. 目前有一些做法已经比较成熟，并取得了良好效果。纵观历史，纵观this is 纵 here represents taking a cross section or something like this, right? You're looking at history from a long extended period of time or something like this. 纵观历史，我国 我国 is China. It's kind of a patriotic way of saying China. 我国也曾多次制定垃圾分类的相关规定，可对垃圾分类的标准和具体做法，相应的奖惩对吗？奖惩措施没有落实到位，以致工作推进十分缓慢。其关键在于法律体系不健全，而上海在立法方面走在了前边。政府 No, 政府 what is 政府 I'm not sure. 政府的空白 presumably, sorry, it's not 建 it's 填补了空白 Yeah, 城镇的镇 is a different character, isn't it? 填补了空白为其他城市提供了可以借鉴的宝贵经验 All right. So we're talking historically, there was a whole bunch of trials in different places and so on like this, right? Lots of different places all over China tried it and was unsuccessful. However, Shanghai came along and it's like, yeah, we have a fairly advanced system. What do they call it? TC. I'm not precisely sure what level is TC, but a legal system. Let's say legal system. So they had the ability to roll it out. In other countries, they're 不健全 and kind of an unhealthy legal system. Yeah, so it was hard to roll out this policy. Or at least hard to roll out relevant policy. 与此同时，上海相关部门的管理者也提出不能一刀切。一刀切 mean it's kind of like you 一刀切 you're cutting with one knife. It's like doing things in a single action. If you're saying 不能一刀切, you just can't. It's not just a single action. It's going to require long-term, step-by-step incremental progress, that sort of thing. So 一刀切 is like done. 既要严格执行硬性约束，也要充分考虑居民需求。So yeah, you both need to. You have this kind of 约束. You got to kind of strictly control the populace's behavior, but you also need to take in mind the citizens' needs. 政府和相关部门还是要保持足够的耐心，要包容百姓的难处，要坚持不懈的引导。坚持不懈，不懈 is kind of like not give up. 不懈，this one 不懈，坚持不懈。To persevere and not give up. 引导 you're guiding your citizens to recycling. 在执行中转换思路，比如中小学将垃圾分类作为开学第一课，在家庭内部形成孩子监督家长的良好氛围，就能让一项政策真正扎下根来。All right. So the method of implementing it is by teaching kids to recycle, and then the kids go home and the parents are like, I'm going to just throw this out willy-nilly. And the kids are like, no, you're not. Yeah. 扎下根来. Okay, 扎根 is to like set root or establish root, right? 扎下根来。和顶顶。那现在人们还有2个集中关心的问题。第一个，前端分类的士气。前端 what is 前端？ 端 refers to an extremity of something. Presumably 前端 is the initial starting point or something like this. I would normally use 起初 or 起初 or yeah 前端 front end, but yeah, usually it's physical, right? 前头的部位。前端分类。What do you reckon that means? 前端分类的士气。士气 is morale. what? 鼓组了。The 鼓 is a verb, or actually 鼓 is a drum, but it's also a verb to drum. It's often used in the word 鼓起勇气. So you're drumming up your courage, right? 鼓起勇气. You're building up your courage. 我鼓起勇气打败了敌人。All right. So presumably 鼓足了，我们鼓什么？我们鼓的是士气，right? We're we're drumming up our morale. 鼓起士气，士气。This one. So, yeah, 激励士气. Here, 鼓舞士气. Yeah, it is 鼓舞士气. So it's used like this, right? You're boosting, encouraging, trying to build up morale. Okay, I didn't know 鼓 can be used with 士气. 鼓足了, the 足 used as a compliment emphasizes that you're mustering up enough morale. You're stirring up enough morale. You've got sufficient morale. 前端分内. I don't know what 前端. I don't know what 前端 here specifically refers to. 后端处理的工人. So 前端 here is referring to. No, I'm not sure. 后端处理的工作能否及时跟上? So this is like, okay, so everyone's like, that's it. I'm recycling. I'm going to be the most, I don't know, rigorous recycler of all time. And the city's like, all right, but we can't handle so much recycling. Maybe this is the impression I'm getting. 前端, 后端. Are they going to explain this? And by explain, I mean have some random note. Maybe not. All right. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what 前端 and 后端 means here. But the impression I'm getting is there's like front end and back end. So the front end are people recycling and back end are the people behind the scenes who are like actually doing the recycling. We're just putting it into rubbish bins. Right? Yeah, okay. 前期新奇引发的热议终究会过去。Okay, 垃圾分类如何从时尚走向日常? Right, so the initial 新奇引发的热议. So 新奇 here, I guess, is something like curiosity. So there's some sort of curiosity when something is new, there's a kind of novelty bonus. Like people want to do it because it's new and unfamiliar. But when it's like, when you've done the same thing over and over again, day after day after day, it kind of gets old, stale, unpleasant. And this is what it's talking about. It's talking about sustainability, right? All right. So how do we get the citizens to adopt it into their everyday life? 前端最重要的是法律刚性执行，立好规矩，养成习惯，树立风气。Yeah, 树树 as in tree. It is the character for tree. It's also can function as a verb like this, meaning something like to erect. Here it's yeah, there's actually another 树 as well. There's 竖起耳朵的竖 and 树立 to erect. Here it's 风气, a kind of, you're kind of setting up this vibe or something. I don't know how to explain that. A spirit or a general atmosphere of recycling. 后端处理 后端处理 也后端处理最重要的是避免前端分类后端混运 I'm not sure what that means. 现象的发生，避免这个的发生。投放、收集、运输、处理等，一环扣一环，一环扣一环，一环扣一环。So one link links to the other link. I presume that's what it means. So, you know, 纽扣, right? 纽扣 is a button. 你扣好纽扣. So you fasten your button, right? That's my understanding. I presume, I haven't seen this before, but 一环扣一环, I presume it means one link into another link, and you have a chain. 冶炼需要协力推进，确保公共治理的公信力，也要更开放包容的调动社会力量参与其中，许多公共事务都是如此。短期行动容易，长效推进不易，容易不易。I presume they specifically chose this one as a kind of parallelism. In a lot of Chinese writing, you have to pay attention to 排比. Do you know the concept of 排比? 排比. This one. Parallelism. Yeah, you want to kind of, you're phrasing things in certain ways to achieve a kind of parallelism or this kind of rhetorical style of writing. So often, this is probably an example in this ballpark, right? So instead of choosing an antonym that doesn't look like 容易, we choose an antonym that looks very similar, right? So we have established this kind of parallelism. Yeah, 容易. 容易 is easy. What's it? 复杂. 复杂 is the usual complicated or 很难, 对吗? 不简单, 不容易. Yeah. But here it's 2 syllables, here it's 2 syllables. So here we've got 6 syllables in total, here we've got 6 syllables. 短期行动容易, 长效推进不易. Right? So a lot of the time when you're writing, you want to achieve this kind of parallelism. So here, 短期 is a 2-syllable noun. Here, 长效 is a 2-syllable noun. 行动, well, this is a noun, isn't it? But it's functioning as, it's a verb functioning as a noun here. And same with 推荐, right? So they parallel, 2 syllables, the same parts of speech. And here we got 2 adjectives, both 2 syllables, and we're even emphasizing the parallelism with 容易 versus 不易. Yeah. So you could have chosen another adjective here, but to achieve the parallelism, we use this. And this is kind of very high level when it comes to writing, achieving that level of parallelism. Sometimes I do this in my writing, but yeah, it is kind of advanced. You do need a very formidable vocabulary to begin with, in the sense that, like, so you have to do something like, I need a 2-syllable word that has a certain part of speech in this, which isn't like wildly off topic or something like this. And you really do need quite a considerable vocabulary to be able to do this. You need to also be very aware of antonyms, synonyms and antonyms. 我们要形成真正的长效机制，也只有这样，OK， 一时兴起的兴奋劲，才会内化为持久的习惯。内化 sorry, I haven't seen this word for a while. 内化 it's very much like the English, internalize, right? 内化。兴奋劲 劲 is 使劲的劲。Kind of, I don't know, you have the oomph, the kind of spirit, your willingness to do something of this. If you describe someone as having 没劲 or 没劲儿，没劲，你真没劲. It's like you're not kind of fun and exciting and spirit, having energy and so on. So there's this initial spirit of, yeah, let's all recycle, yeah! Recycling is so exciting. And then 2-3 years later, it's like, oh, I never want to recycle again. So we've got to figure out how to sustain it. But we've already said this, right? Well, we've said it like 3 different ways by now. Have we got a solution to how we do this? Maybe have to wait until now. Yeah, because the technology's changed now as well, hasn't it? So it's not as simple as that. 垃圾分类是新问卷. 问卷 is a questionnaire, right? 也是新课题. So 问卷, I'm not sure if I got the tone right there, but questionnaire. So sometimes I fill in a questionnaire on Genshin Impact. They give you Primo Gems if you fill in their questionnaire. 问卷. And I fill it in Chinese. So it's good reading as well. It's reading practice for me as well. Yeah. 问卷. So obviously this is not a literal questionnaire. 新问卷. So it's a questionnaire. So you're sitting there, or no, you go like, oh, I got to do this. I got to throw my rubbish away. And then there's 4 bins in front of you. It's like, oh. So every time you've got this, you're thinking, oh, I have to fill in this questionnaire. This goes in this one, and this goes in this one. So it's a metaphor. 新课题, yeah, 课题, it's a problem. 课题 is often described as it's the kind of question you face during class when you take school. So 好习惯的养成不可能毕其功于意义. Is this a 成语? 毕其功于意义. I do not know this. 生活垃圾分类要取得明显成效，需要几十年甚至几代人的坚持与努力。只有全民共同参与，发挥草根智慧，变随手扔为随手分，才有生态文明的可持续进步。Alright. So 草根智慧. 草根, presumably this is like in English where it's grassroots. So it's not literally referring to grass nor roots. 草根. Yeah, ordinary people. Yeah. 草根智慧. So 智慧 is something like wisdom. So the wisdom of ordinary people. 发挥草根智慧. All right, so she's he or she talking about what are we talking about? We're talking about maintaining this, but we're not getting answers. We're just really kind of just talking about the process. We're meant to be talking about sustainability and how to encourage people to continually recycle. The answer kind of here is to teach people long term and kind of encourage them generation by generation to think of it very long term. But we're not really getting solutions. What is this? 毕其功于意义. 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 Accomplish the whole task at one stroke. 一蹴而就. Is it just yet another 一蹴而就? No sentences in here. 毕. Okay, so 毕 here will be 完毕的毕, to complete. 毕其 is a pronoun, it, or it's referring to some task. 其功 毕其功 功 would here would refer to skill or works, maybe. 于一义 yeah, 于 would probably just mean 在 or during 一 a single E. This E here is 战役的 E, campaign. So maybe there's a war related, yeah, this could be success. So complete, no, 功, maybe it's like 功夫, 功劳, maybe 功劳. Yeah, 功劳. So you complete the labor in one campaign. 战役. This E. Yeah. Yeah. So 毕其功于一役. So complete its work in one campaign. So so 不可能这样, right? So 朱明武 is saying that this is not possible. The government will have to constantly encourage people to do this. All right. So this is the article. We should give it another read aloud. This took a lot longer than I was expecting, but at the same time, I don't know, I'm studying Chinese, and the more hours I spend studying Chinese, the better. I'm going to have a rest for 1 second. Right. Where were we? Just had a bit of a rest. I'll give it a read aloud. 随手扔还是随手分？你拎得清吗？ 对话人何鼎鼎，人民日报评论员朱明武，解放日报评论员何鼎鼎。2019年7月1日，上海市生活垃圾管理条例（以下简称条例）正式实施，对垃圾分类提出明确要求。垃圾分类一下子成了热词和技术活，将废弃物胡乱丢进垃圾桶，一人了之的生活情景，成了历史。湿纸巾在湿也是干垃圾，干香菇再干也是湿垃圾。猪吃了会死的是有害垃圾。可以卖钱买猪的是可回收垃圾。上海人吐槽的方式学习和传播着分类知识。Okay, let me try this again. 上海人用吐槽的方式学习和传播着分类知识。Yeah, usually when you're connecting verbs, you don't use 和, but here it does work. You can use 并 instead of 和. In a small few cases, you can connect verbs with 和。上海人用吐槽的方式学习和传播着分类知识，认真的样子让全国人民不得不点赞。曾经，林志清是上海话里对明事理智分寸的褒奖。现在也成了上海人出门倒垃圾前的自我拷问。可笑归可笑，垃圾分类对垃圾减量与绿色发展不是小事儿，但对大多数中国人而言是新鲜事儿，也是麻烦事儿。不就是扔个垃圾吗？区区小事，何必那么较真？如何让普通百姓接受并践行这个全新的环保方式呢？很多城市想到上海这样一项公共政策，他们是如何实现平稳开局的？著名舞 从15年前率先试水，到如今立法强制执行，上海的垃圾分类并非一蹴而就，而是不断试错和创新的过程。条例正式推行是在今年，但上海人垃圾分类理念的输入已开展多年。基层的大量试点、广泛的社会动员，为最终的政策推行做好了铺垫。同时，更多人切身感受到垃圾围墙的风险，这加速了垃圾分类理念的被认同。有人说，政策制定与推行需要刚柔并济。柔呢，就是政策形成过程要有吸收接纳，也要循序渐进，给公众留出适应时间。刚呢，就是推进过程中要以鼓作气，果断坚决，不能在反复犹豫中消磨公众参与的热情。上海的垃圾分类政策是如何平衡两者的？对，立法首先画出一道红线。立法的过程本身就是酝酿、探讨、形成共识的过程。早在几十年前，德国、日本、英国、澳大利亚等国家就开始了垃圾分类的持久战。经过长达半个世纪的磨合，目前有一些做法已经比较成熟，并取得了良好效果。纵观历史，我国也曾多次制定垃圾分类的相关规定，可对垃圾分类的标准和具体做法。相应的奖惩措施没有落实到位，以致工作推进十分缓慢。其关键在于法律体系不健全，而上海在立法方面走在了前边，填补了空白。为其他城市提供了可以借鉴的宝贵经验。与此同时，上海相关部门的管理者也提出，不能一刀切，既要严格执行硬性约束，也要充分考虑居民需求。政府和相关部门还是要保持足够的耐心，要包容百姓的难处，要坚持不懈的引导，在执行中转换思路，比如中小学将垃圾分类作为开学第一课，在家庭内部形成孩子监督家长的良好氛围，就能让一项政策真正扎下根来。那现在人们还有两个集中关心的问题：第一个，前端分类的士气已鼓足了，后端处理的工作，能否及时跟上？第二个， 前期兴起引发的热议，终究会过去。垃圾分类如何从时尚走向日常？前端最重要的是法律刚性执行，立好规矩，养成习惯，树立风气。后端处理最重要的是避免前端分类，后端逆运。not 逆运，混运，混运。I color that in。现象的发生、投放、收集、运输、处理等一环扣一环，需要协力推进，确保公共治理的公信力，也要更开放包容的调动社会力量参与其中。许多公共事务都是如此，短期行动容易，长效推进不易。我们要形成真正的长效机制，也只有这样，一时兴起的兴奋劲才会内化为持久的习惯。垃圾分类是新问卷，也是新课题。好习惯的养成不可能毕其功于一役。生活垃圾分类要取得明显成效，要几十年甚至几代人的坚持与努力。只有全民共同参与，发挥草根智慧，并随手扔为，随手扔为，随手分，才有生态文明的可持续进展，进步。Sorry. So I think I read that. Where was the? Oh, when did we skip a bit? Maybe I feel like I skipped something. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm not going to read it aloud just once. 混运. What does 混运 mean? 混 meaning to mix things together. 混淆在一起. Yun can mean to transport. 混运 oops. 运输的运. All right. 前端分类，后端运。So is this like everyone at home are saying this is recyclable, that's not recyclable, and then when we get to the back, it's like all mixed together anyway. That happened to me when I worked at a factory. You separate out the recycling from the non-recycling, and then one garbage truck would come along and just stick it all in the same truck. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes life is like that, isn't it? All right. So that's that. Why do I feel like I skipped some of this? I feel like some of this 一人了之的生活情景成了历史。湿纸巾再湿也是干垃圾，干香菇再干也是垃圾。猪吃的会死的是有害垃圾。可以卖钱买猪的是可回收垃圾。上海人用吐槽的方式，学习和传播着分类知识，认真的样子，让全国人民不得不点赞。曾经 林志清是上海话里对明事理之分寸的褒奖。I remember saying that. 现在也成了上海人出门倒垃圾前的自我拷问。玩笑归玩笑，垃圾分类对垃圾减量与绿色发展不是小事儿，但对大多数中国人而言是新鲜事儿，而是麻烦事儿，也是麻烦事儿。这不就是扔个垃圾吗？区区小事，何必那么较真？如何让普通百姓接受并践行这个全新的环保方式呢？很多城市，想到上海，这样一项公共政策，他们是如何实现平稳开局的？ All right. So I read it aloud. Should we do vocab now or what do we got? I usually try to go around the 2-hour mark. 条例. What is the vocab? 条例. 条例, it's something like clause or condition or something like this. Like in a contract. 由国家行政部门、组织机构制定的规则和章程，也指团队制定的章程。城市绿化条例。I'm not precisely sure how to translate this. 条例。Ordinance. Yeah, ordinance. Okay. 条例. Yeah, maybe I'm going to count that one as yellow. 热词. Yeah, this was a new one for me, but all right. It's kind of self-explanatory. A hot word, buzzword that everyone's using. 热门词汇. Yeah. 内卷. 打工人. What is 打工人? This is just part-time worker. Why is that 热词? I don't know. 内卷, this kind of engulfed in work kind of thing. 废弃物. Waste. Waste, but treated as a noun, right? Rather than a verb. It's a noun. Yeah, I don't think I need to go into that. 胡乱. Chaos, chaotic. Yeah, often used as an adverb. 胡乱. Yeah, 他胡乱吃了几口. Yeah, it's not like he sat there impatiently and carefully ate. It's like rom 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 rom. Wookie. 吐槽. Yeah, I think this is from English, right? Roast. 吐槽. I'm not sure. Maybe roast or toast. 吐槽. Yeah. 势力. Yeah, I don't know this one, but it's probably, so the counting is a noun, so it's just the management of things or something like this. 事情和事物的道理, principles, not what I was expecting. 势力. Yeah. Logic. Oh, not what I was expecting. So 理 here is 理解, something like that, right? 理解, or 道理, I should say, I guess. 道理. 分寸, this is propriety, right? Doing things the right way kind of thing. 说话和做事的适当限度, yeah, 有分寸, 乱了分寸. 褒奖. Yeah, this one, I don't know, this word is new for me, but neither of the characters are new for me. Yeah, I'll just read the example. 因突出的贡献受到上级主管部门的褒奖. So 褒 was like you're being complimented. It's like, oh, well done, kind of thing. They're pointing out you've done good things, and 奖 is actually rewarding. 拷问, yeah, 审问 is another one. 审问, these are interrogations. So it was used figuratively in the text, though. 来自灵魂的拷问。What? Comes from a spiritual interrogation? I don't know. 这是一部冷处拷问人性的写实之作。Is there more to this story? 拷问。It looks like it's being used figuratively. Interrogate with torture. Maybe most of the time it's being used figuratively. Choo-choo, yeah, just unimportant. Choo-choo 小事. 合足挂齿 is that a 成语？合足挂齿，挂 to hang your teeth. 合足挂齿，合足挂齿 not worth bothering about. It seems like these come together. So maybe I'll color in the whole lot. Okay. 较真, yeah, this is a new word for me, but it looks like 认真. Yeah, 太认真. Okay, so it was adding a kind of hyperbole effect in the original text. So it's not just 认真, but it's 较真, excessive. 在当回事，朋友之间开玩笑，不必较真，也现行实行实现，yeah, all right. 开局 opening, yeah. 试水, yeah, that one was new for me. So this is to test the waters, used figuratively. Yeah, 比喻 figurative. 一些厂家谨慎试水，小批量生产。Yeah, so if you're operating a factory or something like this, you might want to do a kind of preliminary test on a small batch before putting it in the full-scale production. 强制 is compulsory. Australia has compulsory voting. So in practice, that means if you're on the electoral roll and you don't vote, then you get in trouble. You get fined something like $20 in that sort of sense. So it's compulsory in that sense. It happened to me once. So when I moved to China, I took myself off the Australian electoral roll, and I did not know there were multiple rolls. So there was some local election, and I got in trouble. I did not know there was a local election in the place I was staying when I was staying with a friend. And yeah, I'd put that on forms. And so I got in trouble when I got back to Australia one time, or when I was in Australia one time. Yeah, I got this like, you're in trouble. You should, you need to go to court. And I'm like, I live in China, so leave me alone. And they're kind of like, can you prove you live in China? And I'm like, yes, I can prove I live in China. Here are photos of my passport and blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, okay, you live in China. And yeah. And then they left me alone. But yeah, that was a big worry. It's just, I arrived in Australia and it's like, oh, wow. They got grumpy at me. At least there wasn't much, like they just got me to email proof that I live in China, and once they saw the proof, it wasn't a big deal. Yeah, I didn't end up having to go to court or anything like that. They just accepted an email. 试错 trial and error. I think we can skip that one. Is there anything let's just read the example. 我们应该在不断试错的过程中，获得经验。Yeah, so here they listed as a verb, 不断试错的过程, but here it's functioning as an attributive, modifying 过程. A process of trial and error. All right, anyway. 基层, the base, I don't know, base level. 基层干部，深入基层，下基层。Yeah, 试点. Yeah, this one was new for me. 试点. It was kind of like 试行, wasn't it? Another trial. 政府鼓励扶持返乡创业的试点工作. So they're trialing this work, and they're trying to encourage people to 返乡. 返乡 would be return to your hometown or something like this. Presumably they're talking about people who have kind of immigrated to cities and more urban environments. 深化医疗服务价格改革试点方案 the trial policy. Deepen medical service pricing reform trial policy, whatever that means. Pu is first tone. 铺垫. Yeah, here it's first tone. Okay, 铺. Pu is a verb meaning to lay something out flat. Dian is a cushion. Yeah, so you're laying out a cushion. Here it's used figuratively, right? So you're laying out a cushion. 做铺垫. Yeah. 在这里只做前期准备. Here, okay, we're doing preparation for the future. 铺垫. So it's not even all that figurative. How do I explain that? Foreshadowing? Just preparing for the future somewhat. Sort of lay the bedding. So maybe this is a little trickier than I thought. It was here, wasn't it? And 铺, first tone. 铺垫. All right. 切身, it's just 亲身. 切身感受, 切身体会. Yeah. Is there anything else? I don't know if there's anything else to say there. 切身. I don't know. I don't use that word, but all right. 理念, I don't know, concept. Yeah, that's all right. 果断, decisive. Yeah. 果断拒绝, decisively refuse something. 犹豫不. So there's 犹豫. Okay, I thought it said 犹豫, but 犹豫. Where was it? Here. 犹豫中. 犹豫中. 犹豫. Did I say 犹豫? I don't know. Yeah, I normally say 犹豫. 犹豫. Maybe I said it right and didn't even notice. 消磨. This is, what was it? To waste away, while away things. 消耗, 磨灭. Yeah. 消磨时间, 消磨精力. Yeah. 红线, red line. Obviously metaphorical 比喻. 不可逾越的界限. 逾越. So it's an uncrossable boundary. 红线. But let me get this correct here. What was it? 逾 second tone. Yeah. 逾越. So a boundary you shouldn't cross. All right. I think it's all right. 酝酿. 酝酿 refers to like brewing. But it's often used figuratively to refer to ideas that have like fermented in your mind over a long period of time. Yeah, 本意是造酒的发酵过程. 发酵 is fermentation. So 造酒, you're making alcohol. Yeah. Yeah, I almost never see it in relation to alcohol nowadays. 比喻, it's a metaphor for 做准备工作. No, I don't think so. 他们为了这件事，酝酿了2年。It's not preliminary work. You've been keeping it in your mind, right? 酝酿。So that's the literal one. 比喻事先考虑、磋量、磋商。Yeah, so you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. It's mostly mental. It's been rolling around in your mind for an extended period of time. 酝酿。They often talk about 酝酿已久的办法或者发明 an invention that's been in your mind for a long time, right? Yeah, I don't think it's work. It's more just like you're mulling over things. The other one in the dictionary mentioned was 磋商. This is negotiations, right? So this was negotiations with like a party. Consultation, I should say then. 磋商. Yeah. 经反复. So this has already gone through multiple 酝酿提出后选人名单. So we've considered this candidate list over and over again, but we've thought about it. So I'm not sure if 工作 is the best choice of word here, but all right, let's move on. 持久战, a protracted war, used figuratively to mean like an ongoing argument or debate. 指持续时间的较长的战斗和战役，与速决战相对打持久战。Yeah, but figurative. Oh, also literal. It is literal, protracted war. Yeah. So we should also bear in mind this one as well. So they contrast, right? Yeah, 速决战. So there's a 成语. Do you know the 成语? Seeing this, the 速战速战速决速战速决 means quick battle, quick resolution. 速战速决. So when Trump was bombing countries, he's bombing Iran. Like if you're watching this in the future, the US President Trump is currently bombing Iran. In the news, it was 速战速决. He was saying it was going to be a very quick battle. 速战速决, or 速决战, right? Unfortunately, it turned into a 持久战. Yeah. Okay, 磨合, breaking in. Yeah, so 磨 refers to rubbing things against each other. So when things are new, it takes a bit of time to get them to work harmoniously, right? 和, I guess it's, I don't know, together. Represents together. Yeah. 相互磨合, 磨合期. Yeah, so this 磨合期 would be there's time. You're kind of getting used to things and becoming more harmonious and so on. 纵观, yeah, I quite often see this collocation. 纵观历史, 纵观世界. I don't know how to explain it. 全面考虑. Oh, okay. So you're looking at an overall picture in that sense. 到位, something like appropriate. It's used in particular grammar structure. 比喻达到某种规定的要求和事情做得很完美。No, 完满. Complete and perfect or something like this. Satisfactory. 完满是 new word. 到位. 工作到位. 措施到位. Yeah, it's quite often this specific grammar structure with 到位. So maybe I should translate it to, what are they? Satisfactory? I don't know. Appropriate? Apt? I don't know. 填补. Yeah, just don't make my mistake. This is 填表格的填, filling in forms, 填空的填. Filling in 补 is kind of remedying a gap or something like this, right? 也填补缺额，填补空白。借鉴 so 借 is borrow, 见 is used in the word 见 based on. So it's you're kind of drawing inspiration from something else. Yeah, 借鉴研究别人或过去的事情以便从中吸取经验或教训。Yeah, so here they were explaining there's some other person's experience or some past events, and we're borrowing from that, and we're getting our own experience or lessons, learning our own from that. 一刀切, first time, first time, first time. 一刀切. It's like in one fell swoop, right? 比喻不顾实际情况，用同一方式处理问题。Okay, so not exactly what I was thinking, not one fell swoop, but it's kind of like Procrustean bed, the Procrustean bed, where you have one solution and it applies to everything. Maybe it's not exactly what I thought. What are their examples before we look it up? 选拔人才的方式和标准不能一刀切. They use the same method with everyone. Yeah, this happens sometimes. So, for example, so when I did my PhD, I did my PhD in maths, and yeah, they had like these, I don't know, outstanding PhDs at the time, and I had to compete against people in medicine and things like this, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of a bit unfair. And people in maths tended to produce relatively few papers, where people in medicine were publishing papers left, right, and center. It kind of felt a little bit like I had no chance just because of this. 一刀切, maybe something like this. Maybe that's an appropriate usage. Impose uniformity. All right, 一刀切. So it's not exactly what I was thinking. 用一种刀法切，一种刀法切。比喻不管实际情况如何，都做同样的处理。So this is like you're going to go see the doctor. The doctor doesn't ask you any questions. You just need to take this medicine. It's like, do you even know? Do you even know what my ailment is? No, you just take this medicine. I broke my leg. Oh, okay. Maybe you should use another one. That's what it feels like sometimes talking to people. They've already got their mind set on a certain solution to a problem without fully understanding what the solution is. For example, language learners. Language learners on YouTube, they often promote certain methods for language learning, and it's like, do you even know who this student, where they're starting from and what their goals are? If they're starting from a different place and going to a different place than each other, then why would you think they have the same method? Or it's like Google Maps. Could you imagine Google Maps? It doesn't, I want to go to the gym. It's like kayak to Hawaii. Or something like this. It's like, all right. Like, no matter where you're coming from, where you're going to, you always get the same solution, right? Or at least you should. You do need to understand the particulars of the circumstances to get an appropriate one. 硬性. Well, when you put 性 after an adjective like 硬 is hard. 硬性. 性 is the property of being hard, right? 性质. Yeah. So here it's used figuratively, meaning like an unchanging, right? 不能改变的，不可通融的。What is 通融? Adapt? Maybe not adapt. 通融. 通融. Stretch the rules, make accommodations, bend the rules. 通融. 不可通融的 yeah 硬性规定硬性要求 yeah these are inflexible rules all right 思路 are these HSK 7 through 9 words 思路 like your train of thought I don't know 打断思路转换思路 yeah all right 氛围 Funwei refers to the vibe or atmosphere. Different you get different vibes in different environments. For example, in the workplace, it might be a bit formal and respectful and so on. When you're out drinking with your friends, you might be chillaxing, that sort of thing. Different types of Funwei. Yeah. 人们在欢乐的氛围中迎来了新的一年. Okay, so bringing in the new year is going to be a very celebratorious, is that a word? Celebratory vibe or environment, right? Jagen, to set roots. Jagen, 基层, jagen, 农村. Yeah. It's metaphor, non-literal. Maybe it can be used literally if you're studying botany or something. 前端 yeah, this one, there was 前端后端 I was not so sure about. 前端在一个过程中的前面的一个阶段 okay, so it's just the first part of a process. 前端 One usually refers to an extremity, so you've got two ends of the pens, so you've got 这支笔的两端 right, that sort of thing. 端 so here it's being used with respect to a sequence of events. So it's not so obvious, is it? 士气 morale, you often talk about the morale of your troops or something like this. 鼓足士气振奋士气 All right. 鼓足 so 鼓舞 by itself is a verb. Yeah, 充分激发 so 鼓 meaning to stir up. So you're stirring up, in this case, or usually it's this, right? 勇气, 鼓起勇气. You're stirring up courage. 足 is sufficient, right? So you're stirring up sufficient courage or what is 干劲? Presumably this is something like, I don't know, like willingness to do something? 干劲. Drive, enthusiasm, vigor. Yeah, kind of similar to enthusiasm to do something. So drive is a good translation actually. 后端 presumably the antonym of 前端在一个过程中的后面的一个阶段 yeah, it's character for character identical except for 后面前面 right? 新奇 novel, strange, and therefore interesting kind of thing. Adjective 新鲜奇特不常遇到 okay, 感到新奇设计新奇 no problem. 热议 zeal or enthusiasm about something. 热烈议论或商讨 Alright, this is not exactly what I thought. 议论 refers to commentary. So 热议 is encouraging comments or something like this. Oh, it's not what I thought. 热烈议论和商讨 it's the same. Discuss in a lively fashion. All right. I guess I'll color it in. 终究 终究 is kind of like 到底 right? 毕竟终归 it's an adverb. It's used to mean something like at the end of the day kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it. 一个人的力量终究有限 Yeah. So a person's 力量 power or energy or whatever, effort, at the end of the day is limited kind of thing. You're kind of, here you're kind of making a concession almost. 刚性 gang here refers to, what was it? Firmness, was it? Something like that. So 性 put afterwards the property of being 刚 yeah. 不容改变的跟柔性相对 yeah, so it's some adjectives in Chinese function as antonyms of other adjectives. And it's very hard to understand one without understanding the pair because they're opposites, right? Anyway, 规矩. So I should pronounce this neutral tone, should I? 规矩. Yeah, 规矩 is one of the many ways of saying rules and regulations and so on. 矩. 矩 is used in the word 矩阵, matrix, which is why 矩阵, which is where I first learned that character. Right? Matrix. I have a maths background. 竖立. It's erect. Except there's another 竖立, isn't it? There's another 竖立. 竖起耳朵的竖 can also be used in 竖立, right? I'm not 100% sure, actually. Yeah, this one. There's this one as well. It's a trap. There's two of them. 竖立. Now, 跟竖立不同. So does it actually explain? I look it up. 跟竖立不同. Yeah, I know it's different. All right. So this 竖立, the one with the tree, is to 建立, establish. So we're 树立 something more abstract, right? 树立榜样. So you're establishing a good role model or something like this. 学习的榜样. Okay. 树立标兵. I don't know what 标兵 is. Pacemaker. All right. 树立理念, 远大理念. 树立形象, 良好形象. Okay, so maybe this is the collocation. 树立榜样. Presumably it's in here. 树立多用于抽象的好的事情. This 树立. We've got one 树立. What about second 树立? 树立, pronounced the same. 把长形物体 Okay, so this is to erect. To erect an elongated physical object. 竖起耳朵. 竖立 no 竖起耳朵. 竖立起来. 把柱子竖立起来. Okay, 柱子 is a column such as or a bollard. Column or bollard are both 柱子. So like in a palace or something, you may have a column and you need to erect that column. 山上竖立着一座宝塔. A precious 塔 would be like, I don't know how to explain this, temple or pagoda. Okay, 宝塔 is pagoda. All right. So you've got, on the mountain, there is erected a pagoda. All right. 竖立着一根旗杆. Yeah, 旗杆 is a flagpole. So you're erecting a flagpole. Okay, so this 竖立 for flagpoles. Actually, I'm going to draw a flagpole. It needs to be taller, and I need a flag. There we go. All right. So use this one for flags, use this one for 榜样 and more abstract things. Right. 投放. Yeah, 投入, kind of throw something into, but usually these things are abstract, right? 投放规模, 投放渠道. Yeah, these examples are not especially helpful, are they? 投放. So, 投放. 投放 you're. Oh, so this is literally throwing. You're is bait, such as used when fishing. Yeah, I think it's only used for fishing. This is specifically fishing bait because there's a U. Yeah. Okay, 往井里投放毒药. Don't do that. Put poison into a well. This is literal, but presumably it's used figuratively or something like this. This is the usual one. 新产品已投放市场 put into the market. Yeah. Yeah, usually I encounter things like related to this, you're investing, that sort of thing. Anyway. 协力 is something like coordinated efforts. What are they? 共同努力 Yeah, 同心协力 齐心协力 Yeah, so usually it's used in these collocations, almost like 成语 齐心协力 qi meaning representing like hearts, two different hearts or two different 心意 right? Motivations or goals, and they're I don't know, the same or at the same time, same motivation. 协力 and coordinating efforts. Yeah. 同心协力 I think they're the same, right? 公信力 So this is just public trust, right? 学公正信任的力量 Yeah. Okay, so the 力量 So it's kind of like the degree of public trust or not exactly. 提升政府部门的公信力 So we're increasing the public trust in government departments. Yeah. 长效 as opposed to 短效 right? 长效 long-term effect. 长久有效 yeah. 长效机制长效措施内化 internalize very similar to English. 我们要将理论知识内化为行动实践 So we should take 理论知识 theoretical knowledge and internalize it so that it becomes action in practice, right? 草根 grassroots. So this is like in English. Maybe it comes from English. But yeah, so literally grassroot. That represents of the people, right? 指平民百姓普通群众 Yeah. 草根英雄草根文化 Yeah, so it's a hero of the people or a culture of the people. Yeah. 生态 Usually I see this in 生态系统 ecosystem. So 生态would be eco in ecosystem. 生态学 is ecology. So it's kind of eco something. 指生物在一定的自然环境下生存和发展的状态。也指生物的生理特性和生活习惯。Okay, 生态环境 So eco-environment. Yeah, it's just the environment in which organisms live. All right, we'll call it a video. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, leave friendly comments. I'll see you in the future. I'm going to have a rest. See you next time. TTFN.